Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. We have a question here. This question relates to laws of causation, destiny, and karma. I understand the role of Purushartha, free will, as an independent catalyst in destiny and karma cycles. However, does Purushartha itself come under the laws of causation? As per Swamiji, self is above law of causation, then Purushartha must adhere to the law of causation. Therefore, is Purushartha truly free will or conditioned will or God's will, as some saints like Ramakrishna conclude? Need your guidance on this control. Okay. Purushartha as an independent catalyst. Translated as free will or self-effort. Purushartha is, in English, we translate the term as free will or self-effort. Now the question is, does this Purushartha comes under the law of cause and effect? Or Purushartha is beyond cause and effect? Right. Now, when the discussion of Purushartha, there are two angles we look into. One is absolute Purushartha. Another one is a relative Purushartha. Now, if you are going to take Purushartha, okay, first understand Purushartha as a potential energy. Don't understand Purushartha as kinetic energy. Most of us take Purushartha to be actual choices that we are making, which is kinetic action. That is not the way to understand Purushartha. Purushartha should be understood as a potential. How come that potential comes into picture? How it works is exactly like aluminum car engine is there. Right. The car engine is made up of what? Aluminum. Now I give you the exact quantum of aluminum that is there in that engine. Both are aluminum. Is there any difference? There's no difference. This is also aluminum. That is also aluminum. A lump here, engine there. What is the difference? Both are aluminum. But then this aluminum doesn't have the power to pull anything. Whereas the same aluminum were to be organized in a particular fashion, right? In a particular design, rearranged. Same thing, rearranged in a particular way, suddenly gets some power, isn't it? Now, will you say that power came from where? From where that engine, aluminium engine, got its power? It's only aluminium, actually. The sheer permutation combination when it is arranged in a particular way. Similarly, this Purushartha is there, we say, that stands in only human form. All other elements, because human being is also made up of that same 5 elements. Right? Panchabhutas only. Animals made up of the same Panchabhutas. The plants made up of the same Panchabhutas. This Yakshas and Gandharvas and Indras and all those people, Devas also made up of the same Panchabhuta. Anything you say, all made up, whole world is made up of the same 5 elements only. But when that same 5 elements were to be arranged in a particular form, suddenly there is something available to that. That is called Purushartha. Like aluminium and engine. But that power will come only if it is in that particular form. If that form gets changed, that engine power will not be there. Pulling power will not be there. Isn't it? So what is Purushartha? Purushartha is a capacity. What is the capacity? A unique capacity given to Jiva in human form. Suppose if you say this capacity is not there at all. If you say, if you bring this capacity absolutely under the influence of cause and effect, it becomes dependent. A dependent entity can never help us to become independent. Is it not? If it is subjected to rules, but when it is executed, that execution can never be totally independent. That potential power is there, sir, but that car power varies, no, from engine to engine. The same aluminium, you organize it in another manner, it becomes a aeroplane. Metal only, that is inert. Suddenly it gets some power, isn't it? Same way, if human beings were to be having that power, from where that power comes? Suppose if we make that power subjected to something dependent, then there is no such thing called independence at all. If there is no such thing called independence at all were to be existing, then from where you get the thought of independence? If you say, sir, the thought of independence is also dependent, then it is not independent at all. You are stuck in a vicious cycle then. There's no such thing called independence at all then. Then it will be exactly like I keep referring. You are shifting the tiger from a cage to a zoo. Isn't it? To take a tiger from a cage to the zoo is not independence. The tiger in the jungle is independence. That is where it is supposed to be. Now, Purushartha is to be understood as the capacity in us to conceive a possibility beyond my current, whatever the current is, at any level. As an illiterate, I am conceiving about literacy, no? How? That's why I keep telling you. The Siberian dog will never tell its pup, my dear, you have been transported to Bangalore. These people have adopted you. You are going to be shifted to Bangalore. In Bangalore, you will have an apartment which is of only 400 square feet. One jump, he will move from that extreme to this extreme. And in the snow with minus 45 degrees, they will be rolling. You bring that fellow and put him in Chennai. Nothing. It's not going to give any sort of teaching, any sort of education. When you are illiterate, your ability to conceive about literacy, you are been living in the past a life of indulgence and sensuality and materiality, suddenly decide to become disciplined. Forget about your actual execution. It are not different. I'm not talking about it. The possibility that I can be different from what I am today. How are we going to account that thought? Because this thought, this possibility we have seen only in human. We have never seen this possibility in any other animal. Supra beings, we don't know. So there is no point in discussing about them. Because introduction about Gandharvas, Yakshas, Devas and all that is from the Shastras. So we don't know about those people. So forget about them. To our knowledge, we have never seen a cow telling you, today is Ekadashi. Let me fast. It's not going to say that. If it is not well, if it has a stomach upset, it will not eat. Full stop. If it is healthy, it will eat. It will not say, let me diet. Today is our wedding anniversary. The dogs are not going to talk about all those things. This is my grandson. This is my daughter. There's no such thing for them. They just function in that same pattern. The possibility for a course change, for better or for worse, we don't care about that. The possibility for a course correction, a course change, a change of direction. How that is going to be, how are we going to account it? If we say this is also subjected to a particular rule, a law, then we can never use that to transcend the law. Correct? So, for example, anytime you discuss about Purushartha, you parallelly keep Prarabdha along with it. My current, there is no such thing called Purushartha, sir. Then there is only Prarabdha. Internally, in me. God's will, we don't know. Universal force, we don't know about all those things. Suppose if somebody says it is universal force. Like they say, no, I raise my hand. It is because of a universal force. And then they say there is this butterfly effect. One butterfly flutters in New York. Bangalore, there will be rain. If Bangalore rain is the effect of that, then butterfly flapping its wings, what is that? Cause or effect? Huh? Cause or effect? If rain in Bangalore is effect of that, what is that then? With reference to this, we call that as cause. But independently, is it a cause or effect? Could be someone in Uganda sneezing. A person sitting in Uganda sneezes, that is the cause for this butterfly in New York flapping its wings. Correct? No. If we say, you see that you see the web we get into, then everything that you can go on denying has only effect. Correct? If you start analyzing carefully, if you see, everything will be appearing as effect only. Now, butterfly is cause or effect? Butterfly flapping its wings, cause or effect? Effect, sir. Then the man sneezing becomes a cause. Now, the man sneezing, is it a cause or effect again? Ishwaran raising his hands, 2 minutes before, that is the cause of that guy sneezing there. Then Ishwaran will become cause for what? Ishwaran is the absolute cause for the rain in Bangalore. How? Ishwaran raises his hands, it rains in Bangalore. If I say that, what will you call? Superstition? No. Isn't it? Like black cat crossing, business failing. You call it as superstition, right? Now I have established what? Ishwaran raising the hand is the cause of the rain in Bangalore. How? Because of Ishwaran raised his hand, the fellow in Uganda sneezed. Because of he sneezed, the butterfly flapped. Because of that, rain came. Therefore, who is the cause? Then we will go one step further. So, Ishwaran is the absolute cause? No, sir. Ishwaran raising his hand also is the effect. Everything will be reduced to effect. If everything is finally going to be reduced to effect, and we cannot conceive a possibility of an effect without a cause, then what is going to be the primary cause? We are lost completely. See, instead of confusing you like this, they just used one word. They say it's all God's will. Now, you cannot disprove that. You see that? You cannot disprove it. Since you cannot disprove it in any way, can we agree? In logic, we don't agree like that. Your claim needs to be proved by you. Just because I am not able to disprove your claim doesn't give you any authenticity to your claim. Russell gives this argument. Says, all your claims are exactly like me claiming there is a teacup, cup and saucer that is revolving between the sun and the moon. I claim it. Now you disprove. Can you disprove that? You cannot disprove it. You see, all our claims becomes like that. So therefore, can we subject Purushartha into the chain? Not possible. At the same time, can you make it totally independent of it also? That is also not possible. So what is Purushartha? Purushartha is the key. The key is so interesting equipment. It locks the lock. It unlocks the lock. Isn't it? What locks the lock is the key. And the key is that which unlocks the lock also. Depends on how that is going to be wielded. So therefore they said, the potential capacity of a choice were to be exercised by your mind, samsara. If the choice of yours, that Purushartha, the potential power were to be wielded by your intellect, liberation. Because you cannot say Purushartha is totally independent, nor can you say it is dependent. Then what is it? Vedanta says it's like a key. You can use the key to lock the room on, or you can use the key to unlock and get out. And what is so interesting is, to the prisoners, the key is also given in your hands. And there are some great logicians who are put in a cell. 4 great professors of logic. And the chief professor, HOD of the department of the group, identified the way to make a key to escape the prison. And they have decided that on a particular day, they are all going to escape from the prison. So he said, look here, I will go first alone. I will open the lock and give you signal to you fellows. Then you come out. Because all 4 of us were to run. It is easy for the soldiers to catch us, the police to catch. So we'll be caught. So I will go first. So they dug a tunnel. He entered the tunnel and he came out. 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed, 1.5 hours passed. No signal. And these guys, other 3 didn't know what to do. They were all standing there. At the mouth of the tunnel, they were all standing and waiting. What is this going on? Why they are not? Why this guy is not giving signal? Maybe he's caught. They are more worried. After 1.5 hours, this fellow came back in the same tunnel. So frustrated, so angered. And he just threw the key on the floor and shouted. And these 3 fellows got so anxious. Hey, what happened? We planned everything so perfect. Everything was done superb. What was it? And this guy said, don't ask me that. These fellows, these policemen were all crooks. They are so bad. They are so bloody fellows. You know what they have done? What? These bloody idiots did not lock. Only if it is locked, I can use this key and open. If it is not locked, what I can do? I can't do anything. Therefore, I came back, he says. This is what our condition is. Nature had given this option, had given this power. The key is given in our hands to unlock. And then what it has done now? It has kept the door also open. It just, closed. That's about it. It's not open actually. It's just closed. You don't even actually have to use it. You just have to go near that and just push a bit and see. You just push a bit and see, you will understand it's never locked. This is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. And these fellows, we are all like that logician. And logically correct, no? What are the steps? Steps are very clear. You have to go, you have to use the key, unlock, open, and then go. Even if one step misses, what will happen? Because he is a mathematician. He says, if one step is not followed, out. Therefore, I will follow exactly the same. The book of rules. It doesn't work. That is why these masters also say there is no, it's all God's will. From where they get this God's will? Is God is not going to be willing on your behalf. You can't say that God's will is what has made Ishwaran raise his hand so that the ball will keep rolling. He said no. But then at the same time, when they say that, why they say is, they say it is because you are not exercising it the way it is supposed to be exercised. Who is accessing that Purushartha potential power? The potential in it. What is the potential in you? The potential to entertain a thought. Now I have X number of thoughts. Go back. This X number of thoughts, N number of thoughts has come into picture. 2 steps back has to be N minus 2. Minus. If you keep on going minus, then we ask the primary question, how did that first thought come about? How will you account it? You can't say God's will. Right. The moment you say God's will, what will happen? No escape possibility after that. After that, it is whims and fancies of God. If he decides to give you liberation, he will give you liberation. Tomorrow morning, if he decides, no, cancel the order, he will cancel the order. And then what will become of us then? Then we cannot, but at the same time, we all feel we are independent agents, isn't it? We all believe in that independence. From where we got that independence idea itself, unless it is inherent. What is that independence? That independence is to entertain a thought or not. That choice is there. That choice is called Purushartha. And that Purushartha, after you have entertained a thought, again you have a choice. What? To entertain thought 2 or not to entertain thought 2. After entertaining the thought 2, you have a choice again. What? To entertain thought 1, thought 2, or a fresh thought 3. Correct? At thought number 99, what is the choice you have? Thought 1, thought 2, thought 3, thought 4, thought 5, thought 6, thought 7, thought 8. Don't say enough, sir. Don't start till say up to 99. 99 or entertain 100th thought or no entertainment of thought. Correct? To entertain a thought or not to entertain a thought, is it dependent on those thoughts? No. But then what happens? This is where we use the word vasana. But having entertained those thoughts again and again and again, it becomes a habit for you to entertain thoughts. After a point, you cannot not entertain a thought. After a point, you forget that there is a possibility of not entertaining any thought. Don't ask me, sir, what about animals? We don't know about it. You have to check with, one fellow asked me, sir, what about monkeys? I said, ask the monkey, don't ask me. I said, monkeys have not appointed me as their, spokesperson. Animals have not appointed Ishwaran as their spokesperson, or the plants have not appointed Ishwaran as their spokesperson. But I can speak for a human being. Why? Because I am a human being. So I don't know. So don't ask me, sir, what is happening inside an animal? What is happening inside a plant? What is happening inside this? We don't know about all that. So we are not the representatives of them, but we can represent for ourselves. There we say the start itself, the very beginning of the samsara itself is because of Purushartha. Since the beginning itself is because of Purushartha, Purushartha becomes something which is beyond the world, samsara. Causation is functioning where? Within the world. Inside the world, when we are discussing about which one Ishwaran has the choice to entertain, 78th thought or the 57th thought. Correct? Having come to 99 thoughts, having entertained 99 different thoughts, I have a choice. What choice I will have? I also have a choice to entertain 57th or 79th. Apart from entertaining a thought, not entertaining a thought, or entertain 100th thought. Three things are there, no? Within the thoughts, a fresh thought or no thought. A fresh thought, does the fresh thought has to be a combination of the 99? Then what will happen? The second thought should have the traces of the first thought. Isn't it? After we get to 97, 98, 1000, 2000, 5000, 50,000, permutation combination, we will talk. Sir, everything is just a permutation combination, sir, and all that. Whereas, when you are moving from one thought to second thought, at that stage, what is the second thought? Do you mean to say the second thought is nothing but a modification of the first thought? Then how can you call it second? You're all with me? Because the question is like that. This is why I didn't touch upon these points when we are discussing Purushartha Prarabdha. There are so many angles I have not touched. I just left it. Because it is is complex, but having touched, you have to understand it. So when we say after 99, very difficult for us to isolate the 100th thought not having any trace of the rest of 99. From where? From the 100th point. Isn't it? When you are having a huge spread of a buffet, lunch, so many dishes are there, very easy, very difficult for you to identify no connection between two. Isn't it? Any single dish, if you take, that dish will always have some traces of something else. If nothing is there, sugar will be there. If nothing is there, rice will be there. If nothing is there, wheat will be there. Correct? Or some vegetable, green color. If nothing else there, means at least you will have sprinkled coriander leaves. Salt. So, any dish if you take will have the influence, the resemblance, or some ingredients of some other dish will be there. So finally you will say what? Sir, all thoughts are nothing but chivda. So there is no such thing called a new thought. The 100th thought is not a new thought. 100th thought is just a permutation combination of X number of thoughts. 11, 56, 98, and 3A. All put together is called 100th thought, sir. So it has an appearance of newness, but factually it's not new. It is just the old permutation combination appearing as new. That's all it is. But still, that new has a different flavor, right? Uttapam is the same thing. Idli is the same thing. Correct? Set dosa, same thing. Masala dosa, same thing. Paper roast, same thing. All same done. Good. Same rice and dal. That's all. Adai is what now? For those who don't know Adai, you have to check that. Okay. Yeah. All the pulses, it is dals. They add all the dals and make it. It will appear like dosa. Appam. This. Now, once the number increases, it starts appearing very different, and we will get lost in all the thoughts that we are choosing, all that we are entertaining will be appearing as though there is no new possibility at all. But then Vedanta says, no. You may not be able to reach a point where to entertain 100th totally new thought. You may not be able to get it. That's fine. But then, one you cannot deny, that is, to entertain a thought or not, that choice has to be independent of everything. And that cannot have a cause. If you put that having a cause, then that cause will limit it. Then it cannot be independent. Freedom, possibility becomes an impossibility. Freedom possibility is only what, sir? You become a slave. That is a freedom. Slavery is not freedom, please. Only difference is what? I choose to become a slave. Why? Because I don't have a choice. That's an impossibility. Do you call that as a choice? Then we will deny the very possibility of choice. We deny the very possibility of such a thing. Therefore, we say Purushartha cannot be subjected to the laws of cause and effect. Causation. Okay. Second question. One more question is there. Reference the three schools of thought. Okay. For Dvaita and Vishishta Advaita, realizing Saguna Brahman is the end goal. And for Advaita, it is Nirguna Brahman, with Saguna Brahman as the intermediate prop to be transcendent. How do we reconcile the same end goal for the three schools of thought? Right. Hey, the end goal for these three is not from the angle of Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman. The end goal for all three is get out of the samsaric cycle. That's all the common point is. The common point all three agree is, right now you are in this cycle of the samsara. This cycle should not continue. This is their goal. Sir, once I go out, where I land? You get out of the prison. When you get out of the prison, where you will land? They say that we will see next. That is for those who are gotten out of prison. So first you get out of it. Get out of this prison. That is the goal. So the goal for the fellow who is inside the prison cannot be, should I go to this place or that? That's not his point. First point of this is what? Get out of this prison. That's all. So when you discuss about the goal for these three people, these three schools, we don't discuss it from the angle of Vaikuntha or Shivaloka, or you go to Brahmaloka and then go to realize, Nirguna and all those things. Right? So when you go to Vaikuntha, what is he going to do? Vaikuntha, what Vishnu will do? You go to Shivaloka, what Shiva will do? You go to Brahmaloka, what Brahma will do? What they will be doing? What they can be doing? What is that possibility? Is Vishnu going to say, okay, now that you have come, Lakshmi, you have been massaging my feet for so many years, take a rest. You come and massage. Is he going to say that? I've been hearing only this Narada and Tundu, these fellows singing. Boring it is. Right? Now you sing. Is he going to say that? What he will be saying? No, he will not say anything, sir. He'll keep quiet. Imagine you go to a place with so much of effort, you go there, and he's not even recognizing you are there. What will happen to you? Hmm? You get annoyed, isn't it? What is he going to do there? After that, he will take care, whatever has to be done. You don't have to worry about it. Your job is what? Go there first. After going there, what will happen, sir? Your job is what? To get into a college. This is what you tell the person who is going for 12th standard exam, isn't it? Okay, after the college, what will happen? In the college, what will happen? All that is a problem of a person who is going to the university, going to the college. Inside, IIM and IIT, what is happening? You go in first. And you check with those people who have gone there. What do they say? The one who had access to that, who had the access to all this Vaikuntha and all that, that is Hanuman. He has been given a golden visa by Rama himself. He invited him. No one got a personal invitation from Vishnu. Lord Rama himself offered it to Hanuman. Said, come with me, man. I'm taking Ayodhya. A lot of fellows are coming. But I want you to come along with me. I want you to be there. He asked for Hanuman. That is why we take his statement and analyze. What is he saying? He says what? You go. But then why those acharyas were talking like that? Remember, any time an acharya speaks, they are not like professors. Remember, they are not like professors. They speak to the requirement of their student, to the requirement of their period, to the requirement of their time, to their audience, depending on that knowledge will be given. The time period between Shankara and Ramanuja is about, okay, some of them say only 200 years and all that, right? I feel it is a long, long period. During that period, any system would have been subjected to misuse and abuse. And one of the easiest thing in life to be abused is Vedanta. Like I'll give an example. Generally, when somebody, loses, they get angry, Say such an angry fellow, anything he'll be barking. And he'll feel guilty. I'm not, why I'm like this. I'm, getting angry all the time, barking, nobody likes me, this, and all those things. And that fellow comes to Vedanta class. And that day in the Vedanta class, somebody asks a question about temper, anger management. In that anger management, we explain. We make one statement. What is the statement? One of my personal favorite from from Swamiji. You should learn to use your temper, not lose your temper. I repeat. You should learn to use your temper, not lose your temper. Now this fellow heard that. Next day he goes to office. He gets angry at his subordinate or, not to his boss, right? To his, colleague or subordinate. Generally, it will be a peon. He is the fellow who will get maximum. Right? What nonsense. This is a file prank, will throw. Others say, secretary will get, scolding, or the driver will get. Right? When he's getting it, you know what he will tell him? Or he'll be telling within himself. Correct. If I don't show my anger, you know what they will do, sir? They will take advantage of me. So I am using my temper to correct the situation. Right. Now he has got a fantastic justification for him to get angry. And anger means what? I've told you this. Anger means anger will subside when only after you have destroyed something. Your anger can never subside without something getting destroyed. At least you should have attempted to destroy something. You slam the door. Fortunately, the door is that is why most of us keep, doors very strong. The room doors, put in teak, not for anything. You slam it, it will there. You throw your slippers, you this, that. Sometimes it breaks, sometimes it doesn't break. But then what? If you have not heard the statement, after you're breaking something, you will feel within what? Stupid fellow, because of your anger, you have to repair the whole thing now. Idiot. You should have controlled yourself. You should have controlled your tongue. You should have controlled this. You should have done something. At least you will feel that you have made a mistake of what? Mistake of at least the damage that you have caused. Now that you have heard this philosophy, now that you have heard this statement, very easy for you to justify your destructive tendency, your destruction, your violence, your gross behavior. Right? All that can be fantastically justified under this garb of I am using my temper only to correct you, only to help you, only to separate the situation. I am using my anger. Now, next statement, next teaching will be what to you now? To that fellow, what will you teach? Can you go and teach him? Yes, use your temper. You have to say what? There is no such thing called using temper. This is what you have to say, no? Isn't it? Otherwise, how will you correct him? Because he has misunderstood. He is abusing it. He is misusing it. Now, when he is misusing it, the only way you can educate that person is by what? By saying the statement itself is false. The statement itself is wrong. There is no other way, isn't it? To him, you have to come and establish that there is no such thing in the world called using temper. Nobody has used his temper. Everybody who claims to be using his temper is only lost it. But since he is feeling guilty, since he is feeling to cover up his incapacity, impotency to control his temper, control his anger, control his desire, he says what? I'm using it, I'm using it, I'm using it. Now, this teaching and that teaching will appear what now? Contradictory. Can it be the same? It's impossible. Because education is always dependent on the student's level. And as the students grow, education will be given in a different way. In a different way means what? There has to be an appearance of contradiction. But then we say Vedanta as a system, there is no contradiction. The only system of philosophy here, there is no contradictions here. How do you justify there is no contradiction when there is an appearance of contradiction? Saying it is a different level, different stages. So at different stages, you speak in a different way. Like I've given you this example, I suppose, to you, which is one of my favorite one. One day, Purni came running to me. This is ages back. Must be about, 3 or 4 years. She came running to me, telling, Akka doesn't know mathematics. Akka means she is referring to, one of her relative, staying in our house and studying MSc chemistry. This girl is studying MSc chemistry. And Purni is just about 4 years. She's coming and telling me, Akka doesn't know mathematics. Oh, she doesn't know. All that. I said, what? What she doesn't know? I saw her notes. I saw her writing. She is adding A and B. You should add 1 and 2. How can you add A and B? Because A, B, C, D belongs to what? English class. 1, 2, 3, addition, multiplication, subtraction and all mathematics class. How can you mix up English class and mathematics class? This is her argument. Correct? No. But at the same time, can you say to Purni, what will I say? What should I say? I have to tell her you are correct. One who is studying MSc mathematics is wrong. One idiot. I'll teach her, don't worry. Now you do your addition, multiplication table, you start writing. 2 1 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, right? This is what you are supposed to say. But at the same time, what do we understand? At one level, it is wrong. At another level, that's correct. What is right there is wrong here. What is right here, wrong there. Different layers there, different levels there. Now, unless you have grounded yourself at the primary, where clearly you say English class is different, mathematics is different, you cannot understand English alphabets will be used in mathematical equations. The script is used. But the script, when it says A, B, X, Y, Z, all that in mathematics equation is not the same as what you see here. They are different. Who will understand that? Minimum she has to come to 7th standard. 6th standard, 7th standard, she has to come. For her to understand, unless you introduce algebra, till that introduction to algebra, because nowadays, I don't know, they may introduce algebra in 3rd standard only. If they study everything by the 10th standard, I don't know what they are going to study after that. Here we are now. The fellow should become a great musician by the age of school days only. They should become a sports person school days only. They should become, legendary personalities by, and then what he will do rest of his life? They get totally lost. That's why everybody gets lost completely. Once they come out of school, when they come out of college, they feel, that's all life is, nothing else. So the fellow says, By age of 30, he says, I want to retire. And then we think we are all becoming, very socially conscious. The fellow says, I was working in US, sir, earning 32 lakhs per month. Resigned the job and I have come here looking for farming. Not that he has suddenly become interested in farming. The frustration there. Why so much of frustration? Then why did you study to get there? You go there to lose all enthusiasm. All interest is lost. Why? Because we mix up levels. What is to be studied there needs to be studied there. So this Acharyas teaching to us, they teach it to your level. Now we are studying in the book. Remember, this study is because it is there in the book. This is the precise reason why I did not take this portion at all these years. All these years, I've taken this Vedanta treatise at least about, to my memory, at least I've taken about 8 to 9 places. I have taught this book. I come right up to part B. Part C, I tell people you read it on your own. I don't touch that. After 25 years, I am attempting to touch that. It is more for myself than for you people, in fact. But why we are studying it because it is there. That's about it. So we are studying more of an academical one. But for those acharyas, it's not academical, remember. It's not an intellectual study. That's why I gave you the example. A person who is suffering from cancer, then he thinks in terms of 2 different therapies. Is very different from you and me sitting and discussing about whether chemotherapy is effective or not. You and me discussing about chemotherapy is unconnected to both of us. I'm not talking about how much you know about chemotherapy, how much I know about chemotherapy. I'm not talking about that. I mean, for both of us, it is irrelevant. It doesn't matter because any conclusion we come to is not going to make any difference to us. Whereas to a person who is suffering from cancer, right? To that person, you go and say, when that person inquires about chemotherapy, what is it? Totally different. You see, these acharyas were speaking to that person. When he is speaking to those people, we sit there and over here and gossip now. It is our mistake. So, these acharyas were giving according to their audience. And where they agree, where they don't agree, one thing they agree is this. You are in samsara and the samsaric cycle needs to be transcended. The purpose of mission of human life is to transcend that. How you need to transcend varies. They agree upon that point only. Don't worry about Saguna Brahman, Nirguna Brahman and all those things. That is why they interpret Nirguna Brahman itself as not no gunas. You cannot particularize and say this is the guna. Because it has so many gunas. All the gunas are there. So much is there. You cannot particularize it. That is what is meant by nirguna. You cannot establish. Nirnayam is not possible. Nishchaya is not possible. And say only this. Therefore, that is what is meant by Nirguna. There. So they use these words only to exactly like, remember the example. 2 examples I have given you. What are the examples? Purani and you can type. I am tired now. First example is what? Huh? I forgot. That's why I'm asking. I think I simply gave, so many examples came, I just gave it off. That's all. But I do remember I gave you 2 examples. What is the first example? Is it? I forgot something I gave. It's okay anyway. One example is this, I do remember. Because if I forget that, she will kill me. Oh. So these 3 acharyas given you these 3 different things. Where to be treated in stages. So the starting point is Dvaita. Yeah, temper, correct. Using your temper and losing your temper. Questioner remembers it. Enough. Right. Suresh only asked that quick question. Got it, Suresh? That's it. Remember the example, temper. Using your temper. There is no such thing called using your temper. Who can afford to use his temper? The only one who never gets the temper. Who can use anger? The one who never gets angry is a person who can use anger. Contradiction, no? There. The one who never gets angry means he should never get angry, no? Then how can he use his anger? Huh? The one who never possesses BMW car alone can use that car properly. Will you agree with that statement? Huh? When you are not having it, there is a question of using it coming into picture or abusing coming into picture. This is how arguments will go. Then what does it serve? It is putting up an act. Correct. So, using your temper means what? Putting up your act. Then go back to the first question. Starting point is what? The fellow comes and asks you, sir, I am getting angry. What should I do? What is advice given to him? Learn to use your temper. When can you use your temper? Only when you are never getting a temper. But that fellow says, I am already getting angry. What am I to do? Don't get angry. What sort of advice is that? It is a arguing in circle. This is Ramanuja. This is Ramanuja style of arguments. You're all with me? So to whom that statement was made, use your temper, never lose your temper. To whom that statement was addressed? It was addressed to the fellow who says, sir, I'm getting angry. What am I to do? How am I to manage my anger? If you go and tell this to a person who is never getting angry, learn to use your temper. He says, why? Don't lose. Sir, I'm telling you I'm not getting angry. You're coming and telling me, use your temper. Don't lose your temper. That statement itself is a redundant statement. We will dismiss the whole thing. Why? Because when we see this is being misused, we will immediately come in and use the same reasoning, use all our logical capacity, analytical ability to demolish the premise itself. So when they say this world is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha, every word they will take and demolish it. Word by word, demolish. And say, the meaning that you have given to all that is wrong. The meaning that you have given to each word in the statement is wrong. Also, collectively, the meaning, implied meaning that you have given to the word is also wrong. Either case, you are wrong. Finished. Completely misunderstood. Why? Only then I can wake him up to rethink. Oh my God. Apo, statement itself is wrong, is it? Oh, Shankarave tappa. Ramanuja will say what? Yes. He will not say, Shankara is correct, you have misunderstood. He will not say that. He will say what? Avare tappa. After hearing this, you don't start saying, yeah, Shankara wrong. Because you are not Ramanuja. You are not Madhva. You are not a Srikanta. If you are a Srikanta Sivacharya, if you are a Vallabhacharya, if you are, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you are of that type, then you can demolish. Then you can say. When you are not, you don't take that stand. What has happened to the subsequent followers is that. What has happened to the followers is the followers have started assuming the position of their Acharya. You see, that's not the purview of the subject itself. Because the subject is spoken to a person who is suffering from samsara and he wants to get out of samsara. And in that process, that fellow is misunderstood something. He has overshooting himself from his position. So to bring him back to his original position, from where he is supposed to start his journey, what is supposed to be said? Forget about IIT. Forget about this. Forget about your CAT exams. Forget about this. Forget about all that. Focus on your 7th standard syllabus. This is what we say, no? Isn't it? That is how these 3 schools are there. So it is not that Madhva will definitely refute Shankara, refute Ramanuja. Ramanuja will refute Madhva, he will refute Shankara. When they are refuting Shankara, it is not Shankara he is refuting. It is your misunderstanding that alone is, or whatever you have is applicable to everyone. No. Vivekananda asks a beautiful question. If a lie can be multifarious, multifaceted, why not truth? Beautiful question of us. There. Lies can be many, no? Correct. But then we say what? Truth has to be only one. Why? If a lie itself can be many, why not truth also many? Why are you making truth so poor? And making lie a very rich one? Potent one. Fascinating question. He says, just think, no. He says, I was really stunned by that question. I said, correct, no? If lies can have multifaceted, more options are there. Why are you restricting truth to be one? Only that has to be the truth. Not necessarily. Why not? Lie also you should say only one. Then truth also only one. Lie is many, truth is only one matter. Why poor? Why truth cannot be many, is it? Why not? Good question. Like that we ask here. That is what Vedanta is. Because he is the spokesperson for Vedanta. He is the right spokesperson. Vivekananda is the right person. There we take it like this. So on what basis? On what differences? So many differences will be there. But one thing they agree is the samsaric, getting out of the samsara is the goal. In that, there is a perfect agreement with all three. In fact, all these masters, Vallabhacharya, Srikantacharya, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or this one, that one, anyone you take, all those masters agree on one thing. Is it, sir? You have to get out of the samsaric cycle. Where you land, one person says you land there, one person land there. That is different. But you are free. You achieve that freedom. This is the point here. Okay. We'll see you in the next class.